Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy Does It, a podcast created specifically for the amazing members of the MJ team. Rob and I are back with you again, excited for another great episode. As promised, we have another guest with us today. Rob, who do we have with us today?
Man, look who we got over here. Okay, so I was like, what do we need to write down? Because Brandon had some interesting names. I wrote down this young man here is the king of stories. He's the master of sounds. This is our chief sales officer, Alan Smith. Welcome to the podcast. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes. Woohoo. We're so excited to have you.
Glad to be here.
So we've talked about this a little bit last time. Brandon had already had an episode where we got to know him a little bit better. So we'll get to know you a little bit better today, but we'll also talk about some things that we think would be helpful for all the people out there to hear. Okay, but before we do all of that, we always start with a would you rather. And like I said, I think I know your answer to the first one. I brought two. This is...
Yeah, she wrote
I don't know
these
the
today.
questions. This is
This is going to be good.
Okay. So for both of you, and I guess I'll answer as well, would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste for the rest of your life?
y'all know this. Shampoo.
Yes. Why shampoo?
Because I've only got a half a head of hair, right? But I got to brush my grill often, right?
Yep. Yep. What would you say, Rob?
There's not much underneath here, so I'm going to go with the shampoo. There's not much
That's not
left.
fair. That's not fair.
You came up with this. You knew
I'm
exactly
the only
what you were
one who
doing.
truly has to make.
This is a tough decision for you.
Only because I've heard, maybe you all know, well, I'm sure Alan would agree with this. I've heard that your dental health is a precursor or an indication of your overall health. Would we agree about this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I would have to say maybe I'll give up the shampoo as well.
Yeah. We don't want to. We don't want to. None of that.
Yeah, but what if my hair starts looking janky?
Listen, your hair, you're going to have a nappy head. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be rough. And you know I'm going to say something, but at least your breath is going to be fresh, you know?
I guess you could wear a hat,
You're going to wear a hat?
but my breath would be fresh. But
It would be.
yeah, maybe the rest of your life is for a year.
Listen, we can talk in absolutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
I remember Brett Sumter. I would see him. He brushed his teeth like 8 times a day. He would go eat lunch. He'd go brush his teeth. He'd go teach for an hour or two, and I'd see him over there brushing his teeth. I'm like, did you just eat something again? No, I'm just brushing my teeth. That fool brushed his teeth all the time. He had some pearly whites. Y'all saw him on the podcast. We had to dim the lights up in here. You can see it just fine.
You know, I haven't played Would You Rather in a long time, but I had a friend in college that always used to want to play it. And this was the adult version, the
Yes.
adolescent boy version. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is the first time I've done this in a while.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
with an
Throw it
actual. Okay, all right. This one's actually one you can put a little bit of thought behind. Would you rather have a time machine or a teleporter?
Time machine.
Okay, why is that?
Because I just think things are interesting the way we used to do it, the way things used to be done. I think I'd like to go back and visit that.
Where do you feel like you would go?
I don't know. I'm thinking like people building things with their hands and doing things and building stuff. You know, I think that'd be really cool. People that farm and eat what they grow and like that. Go back then.
You know, I was watching a video, and it was a long time ago in like New York when they were building steel buildings, and how safety has changed from now and then. Them fools used to climb the building. So if you needed to go up 5 stories, they would just walk up the poles like a dang monkey. They'd go up there, and then you'd see them just walk across the beams. There's no ropes. There's no nothing. They got their tool bag on their hip. You know about the tool
Don't
bag.
you want to know how many people fell off that thing? They never talk about this.
No, they said it was very safe, but I'm also feeling like they just never reported how many people fell off.
Yes.
That would be terrifying.
Wait, would you consider yourself an old soul?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could see that, like wanting to see that and experience that, like what,
Preserve the old way.
yeah, what life was like at that time. Okay, what about you?
This is actually a tough one. I didn't really read too much of the second one, so I didn't really prepare for it. But dang, I think the time machine would be really interesting to go back, or I guess you can go forward. That would be interesting too. But it would be really cool to go back and watch certain moments in history and see the way things play out from your vantage point versus someone else's. Because I feel like they always talk about that history is reported by those that won, typically. And so I'm curious what that would look like in real time. You know, you see these figures crossing rivers, or you see these big battle moments, and you think that these leaders or these moments are like very easy, or it's like he boldly crossed this river to go jack some people up. And then it's like he's nervous out of his mind. He's like, I don't even know if I'm making the right decision right now, but we're going to do it. You know, I would just like to see what those moments will look like. So I think Time Machine.
How about you?
Well,
don't make the wrong choice.
So I think we all know, if you've been listening to the podcast, that I'm not sure how I would fare in the olden days, because we know that I don't like the woods, being in nature. And it seems like in that day and time, you had to spend a lot of time in nature. And I do think I would be interested in it because I like to learn things, but I don't know that I would thrive in that environment. So I think I would probably choose teleporter. Plus, I feel like I spend so much time going from one place to another. I wonder how much time I could get back if I could just go like, bloop, I'm home, bloop, I'm at work. Or, you know, if you're going somewhere, you could just be there.
Right.
Like how much time that would save. I really think I have wished for a teleporter before. So I'm thinking that would be my choice. And also because I do not think that I don't think that it would work for me way back when.
It's natural selection at its best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we could probably spend the whole rest of the time doing this because, like you, until we started doing this on here, I had not played Would You Rather in many, many, many years.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I didn't feel like it. I intentionally sabotaged you with many nature outside things, and I think you probably caught on to that.
Yes.
A lot of zombies, a lot of being out in the woods or out in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
You're welcome.
All of those where we know I would not thrive. Okay. So I have, this was Casey's idea, and I thought this would be really interesting for those folks who are listening who are not as old as I am. I'm going to set the stage for you, okay? It's 1999. The year that Alan started at Morris Jenkins is the peak of teen pop. Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, not your people. Yes. People are freaking out about Y2K, right? That at the turn of the new year, gas was $1.26. A gallon of milk and bread, both less than $1. Which is crazy to think that's where we were at that time. So Alan Smith is getting ready to join the team at Morris Jenkins. So tell us a little bit about what brought you here, but also prior to 1999 when you come here. What is the Alan Smith story?
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Charlotte. I was born at Presbyterian Hospital. This is home for me. My mom's from Charlotte. Daddy's from Charlotte, like we're just Charlotte people. And my dad got a job at Morris Jenkins when it was Morris Heating and Cooling when I was in the 7th grade. And prior to that, he did heating and air conditioning with Sears. He sold at Sears for a whole career, and then left there and came to Morris. And so for me, I grew up around a salesman, and I grew up around somebody that was real house savvy. You know, we were always building a deck, putting in an above ground pool, adding on a bathroom, building a garage. We were always building something at home. And so that's kind of what life was like for me. We lived in the county, Mecklenburg County, and I've got a little sister. She's a couple years younger than me. And so I decided, I don't know what I want to do for a living. And so I go to Western Carolina University. I study music because that's the only thing that I was decent at. Like, I played football, no good. Baseball, I got cut. Like, any sport I tried, like, I was terrible. Therefore, I don't even watch that crap. I ain't doing it. I'm not going to do it. But music is something that it came natural to me. And so I studied music. I knew I didn't want to be a band director. Like I knew that was not what I wanted to do, but I didn't have another choice. And everybody else went to college. What was I going to do? I had to go play Would You Rather with this guy, Chuck McCoy. So I had to get there. And, I think my dad recognized that. And so right out of college, he had lined up for me to come to work at Morris Jenkins. So I graduated. It was a summer graduation, and I came here and started August of 99. 2 summers leading up to then, I did come work in the warehouse at Morris Jenkins. This was a couple-week stint, like a 3-week stint. Interestingly, Dewey Jenkins' daughter Blair was here painting the office during that time. So we've had a lifelong friendship with her, Gina and her, and myself and her. But I would come and I'd work the warehouse. And like we would have piles of flex duck, and I would stretch it out, and I would measure it, and I'd put it back in the box, and I'd write how long it was, trying to minimize waste back then, right? We had this big glue machine where we would glue insulation to the ductwork, glue the thing, we would rivet it together. The way we used to build it is the old day. You'd have to teleport, time machine to go see this. Mm-hmm. Half the glue wound up on the freaking floor, so my job was to take a torch, heat the glue, scrape the glue off the floor, and keep the warehouse clean. So I spent a little bit of time in the warehouse, but you're right. 1999 was when I came here full time.
When you think back to that, what was the company like at that time? Obviously, much, much different than it is now.
Yeah, I'm going on memory, but I feel like there was about 25 people here at that time. It was a very nice, brand new building in a nice business park near the airport. And at that time, there were no large heating and air companies. Heck, there ain't any big ones nowadays. But like it was a nice building. It smelled good, felt good. But it was different. It was like you knew everybody. Mm-hmm. And we had some talented people. Great day, Dewey Jenkins at the helm. You know what I mean? But there was not the talent. Like we didn't have a Corey. We didn't have a Meredith. We didn't have a communications trainer. Like we didn't have as much talent on the ship back then, but there were talented people there. But it's just different. But you knew everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was it like? So you came, you worked in the warehouse. Was it consistently? It was just during the summertime, take a break?
A couple of gigs, yeah.
So what was it like stepping in, and when you did come back, decide, hey, I think I want to take a swing at this sales thing?
Well, at the time, like, the salesperson didn't have a company vehicle. So like I'm driving my own truck, I'm keeping my mileage, Dewey Jenkins, he's like, if you make it, we'll see about getting you a truck. Mm. It was there, like this was baby time. But I started with install, and I rode and we put in coils and we did some duct modifications, and I spent time with install to learn what the stuff was. And then I rode with some technicians to learn a little bit, enough to be dangerous about how to fix things. And at the time, our service manager, he lived near us, and he said, just meet me in the morning, ride to work with me. He was a working service manager, so he would lead the meeting, then he'd go out and fix a job, and then he'd go help somebody because we didn't have 10 techs. Mm-hmm. And so I would ride to work every day with the service manager, and then he would take me home, and I'd get in my truck and go home. And so the training seems like it lasted a month or two. But the good relationships were built during that time. And that's the way we build salespeople today. We just hired 8. They're in the trenches. Right. They're learning the trade right now. And so that's the way we do it to this very day. But that's what it was like.
Yeah, I think about even the new salesmen now. They're following in the same footsteps. They're seeing what install looks like. And frankly, it's been really cool hearing the installers be like, these guys are seeing it exactly how the job should be sold, and then they're getting to see how it's installed. But even back then, what things do you feel like have changed? What things have you felt like have stayed the same from the way Morris Jenkins used to be to what we're seeing even today?
We were customer focused then, and we're customer focused today. That hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. We're able to do more for our customers and provide faster service and more services and more trades. Like it's expanded. But in the early days, we were hyper-focused on the customer, what we could do for them, for sure. For the sales side, we didn't have technicians going out with a service-first approach. That wasn't happening then. when we sent a service tech out, they were just going to fix it, back then. As units have become more complex, we've learned that after about 10 or 12 years, you're better off with a new one. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So our business model has slightly shifted. Then it was we would mail you a letter or an advertisement, or we would pay extra for a big yellow page ad, and then they would call. And these were people that didn't have a relationship with us at all. So it was different. You know what I mean? Some of those people are still with us today, some of those customers.
Yeah. You know, it's funny sitting in the president's breakfast over the years and seeing the story. You know, for those of you that haven't seen that before, it's you sit down with the president and he kind of gives you a little spiel of where Morris Jenkins came from, a little bit about the story. And it's always cool going in there and watching and seeing here was the old building, those big old yellow trucks, and then what type of equipment we used to sell back in the day, and then how it's changed over the years. But it is so cool seeing that transformation over time. How have customers been from back then until now? Like, what changes have you seen just in how people are?
Well, customers are more educated than they were. Like when I started in 1999, I'd never owned a cell phone. Like, is that hard to believe or what? Like you go to college and you don't have a cell phone? Like nobody had a cell phone. Mm-hmm. Like I had one buddy, and then Gina, my wife, we've been together for a long time. I think she had a phone like bolted in her car, if I remember correct. Y'all remember these?
Yeah, like a bag phone.
No, this was bolted into the
thing. No bag needed.
Yeah. I'm like, God, she's rich. I better hang on to her. But I didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
So people didn't have internet. And people were not as busy. Like you guys do travel ball. How often?
About every weekend.
I mean, like people didn't do that in 1999. 1999, you went to work, you went home, watched the news, ate fried okra, and like the salesman came, and it was just different. Now people are busier. Mm-hmm. They're on a travel ball. He's gone, she's gone. What do you know about all these different brands? We've done our research, our due diligence. Mm-hmm. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's different. They're more educated.
Yeah, that's I was thinking, I mean, even just saying the yellow page ad, like to me, it's like there's people that are probably listening to this podcast that maybe don't even know what that is, like they don't even know what that is. So what did that look like for you? You started in this role and you were in this role for, how long were you out in the field?
Till 2017. So a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what do you feel like? What do you feel like you took away most from that time that you spent out there with customers, learning yourself, getting just, so I guess the word's entrenched in MJ and in the culture here and in the business and the brand. What are the things that you feel like stick out to you most from that time that you spent out in the field?
One of the biggest things that I've learned is I would work with really, really sweet people. And then you go back 5-6 years later and like, maybe the money ain't there now. Mm-hmm. Maybe he died. Maybe she died. And then I would go back and see that same family 8 or 9 years later. Like they have an air conditioner. I go back for the furnace. It's an Allen sold last. They send me back. And I'm watching people age quickly. Mm. And it at the end, like my whole day was spent just visiting people I already knew.
Yeah.
I didn't remember them, but as soon as I got there, boom, I remember this guy. You know what I mean? And I would watch people like they're trying to acquire everything and build wealth and buy the beach house and all the things. And then I would see them 15 years later, they're getting rid of all that crap. Mm. They're just in a different place of life. And so that really spoke to me. It's like, I'm not saying don't do those things. I'm just saying your priorities will change and it'll happen really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw people with kids and then I would go back to their house 13 years later and they're 13-year-olds and I'd go back and they're in college.
That's wild.
One of the last jobs I sold before I came out of the field was a husband and wife that was one of the first jobs I sold in 1999. Hmm. And it was just cool to sit with them. They were both teachers. Hmm. And she had retired, he was about to retire, and like they had like their life plan. But when I met them, they were just new teachers.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that speaks so much to, I think it's interesting that that's what you kind of take away. I think we talked about relationships in Brandon's episode too. I think that's because we are customer focused, I think that is something that we truly do believe in, is building this relational customer. A lot of times when you're a customer of a particular company, it's what we would call transactional. It's like, I need this from Amazon, I get this from Amazon. It's very transactional. And I just feel like what you just captured and what you just said it's different here than I think it is in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I enjoyed those people. I learned so much from them. I learned so much. Like I'd come up with a good idea and I'd go home and I'd try to do that in my yard, or they'd decorate and can you mind if I take some pictures? I already took pictures anyway, but I'd go home and I'd try to recreate that. I just learned so much from so many people. Mm-hmm. So it was good.
I was telling some text the other day that it was actually yesterday. It was our new Build a Plumber crew. And I said, when you're going to a customer's house, we're there to help them fix a problem, help them get their life back on track. And for some cases, it might be the worst day for the next 3-4 months, because it's like, this is rough. But I said, man, every single person you can learn something new from. You can learn something that might help you. You might meet a really, really cool person. I remember I went to a customer's house. He was a retired gentleman. He lived in a big old retirement community. And I walk in and I look behind him as I'm talking to him, and I see like a flight helmet on a shelf. And I kind of look around and I can see he's got memorabilia. And I was like, what? Is that a flight helmet over there? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what's the story with that? And so he started to tell me. And then I noticed he has like a big old bullet over there too. And then I see behind it, it says Top Gun. And I'm like, were you in Top Gun? And he's like, yeah, back in the day, that's an F-4 Phantom bullet. And that was my old flight helmet. And he started telling me about Top Gun. And I'm like, this is really cool. And me and the tech walked out later and I'm like, man, I'm just better just hearing that story. I got to meet somebody. That was history.
Yeah. People have some neat stories.
Yes.
Yeah, and I enjoyed learning them.
Yeah. What do you feel like? I know we had customers, and then you reminisce back to these old moments. What do you feel like was one of your favorite moments from maybe back in the day when you were selling?
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. A lot of people got happily involved with Morris Jenkins projects. I'm not. Okay, here's one. It didn't take me long to find one, did it? I had this lady that was old as dirt. Old. You know what I mean? I can take you straight to her house. And she worked for Coca-Cola, probably in Atlanta. Maybe she's from, I don't know. But I spent a lot of time with her, and it was clear she needed somebody to talk to. And I enjoyed hearing from her. It was just her. And she wanted to give me something. Lots of people wanted to give me something. Bag of tomatoes from the garden. Something. You know what I mean? And she said, you wait here. And she goes away for like ever because she's slow. And when she comes back, she gives me this 6-pack of Cokes. And they're old. They're like, Corey, that's like the OG Coke. Like, I don't know how old this stuff is. It's like this could be on like this. What's this show where they're? Oh,
Antiques Roadshow.
Yes, I could have gone on Antiques Roadshow with these Coke bottles, old. And she said, "You keep these; they'll be worth a fortune before long. Just trust me." And she gave me those bottles, and I'm like, "This is incredible." So I go home, and I put them in our storage building and on a shelf. Now we got twin boys. They're 18 now. They're big boys. But at the time, they were like 3 or 4. It's like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer at my house, man. They're shooting bows and arrows and like slinging rocks and breaking crap, all the time. They took those Cokes down in the woods.
Oh, no.
And drank them, chugged them all, and then busted the bottles on the creek bank behind our house. So
good for them.
I remember how excited she was to give me those Cokes and how mad I was when they busted the bottles.
Bust the
probably worth $3 million. Yeah, it probably would have been.
You bust the last one over one of their head. You go out there. What are you doing?
Crazy kids. But there were so many people that just wanted to give me something. I would come home with like, dude, those are good looking flowers, and they'd go out there and get a shovel and dig you up flower bulbs and put them in a garbage bag. And I come home with like a bag of flower bulbs. And where am I going to plant this crap? I don't know. But I would come home with stuff, and it was just really special that they felt that way about it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's just proof that building, you're number one, really good at building relationships with people and finding out what makes them tick, how you can help, and just connecting with people. And I feel like when people feel that genuine connection, then it makes it easy. Yeah. Makes it really easy to help them with their problems.
Because you're doing something to help them, they feel like they need
reciprocate.
Yeah, they need to do something in return. I think it's really cool. I think that, and I don't know if this is true or not, because I don't have the experience that you do or that our technicians do in going out into customers' homes every day. But I imagine that it's interesting just to see, I don't know what the right word, maybe the humanity of people. Because I think especially now, we see a lot of things that we don't always see the good things. We don't always see the bag of tomatoes and the 6-pack of Coke and the things like that. So I think it's maybe in the day-to-day, if we're out there running calls, it might be easy to lose sight of how, I guess, what a privilege it is, to be able to go out there and spend time with this sweet lady who probably just needs somebody to talk to and somebody to connect with. But I think that's a really unique kind of opportunity that we have, it being in the service industry. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's cool that when we ask what's the favorite moment, it goes back to that piece. Yeah, to people.
People helping people.
Yeah,
that's right.
And the relationship piece. So I guess we've talked about your time in the field. What do you do now?
So in 2017, I came out of the field and I took a job leading the sales team. So at the time there were 10 of us, and I stepped down, so there were 9 of us. And I did that for a while, and then we grew that team. Like we grew a plumbing sales team, and then now there's 47 people in the sales team. This includes sales recovery. This includes our sales coordinators, which move the sales calls around on the board, get the right guy to the right call. So it's a big crowd. It really is. And so I have 2 really awesome people that help me shoulder the responsibility, Travis Simmons and Heather McCullough. I couldn't do it without them, period. They make me look good because they get so much done. But it's just the role has changed. But just last week, I got to come in here for a week with Robbie J. Right? What did we do?
Well, we taught some the new future of Morris Jenkins out there in the field.
So fun.
Yeah.
Funnest thing I've done in a month.
Yeah. I did want to ask, now that your role is multifaceted, you are leading a team, you're looking farther down the road, and then you take a step right back out of that and you go right back into, hey, this is how you connect with your customers. Here's what you do in the field. Earlier today, I was working with a tech, and he's been struggling a little bit. And, sitting here with you, I can't help but to not ask, if you were to offer feedback from your years of experience for somebody that is maybe struggling out there in the field connecting with customers, what would you say are some pointers on how they can level up their game, how they can, perform well and their customers helping them out there?
Well, I would suggest that they run the play. We're going to get to talk about that today, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, not everybody can just relate with people. Not everybody has that God-given gift to go in and be comfortable, and some people are strange. So it's not going to work for everybody. But if we get the right people on the bus and they run the play, it'll naturally happen. They won't realize how special the interactions are at the time. But you look back and you'll think, man, that was good life lessons.
Yeah. Yeah, run the play is definitely something, finding that good consistency. And run the play might look different. When we talked to Brandon last time, he says there is a run the play out in the field. There's a run the play in being a manager. There's a run the play in pretty much every role here at Morris Jenkins. And it was really cool getting to hear him define some of that stuff. I even think for the field, run the play to one person may be translated different for somebody else. Sometimes run the play seems pretty straightforward, and then we start to trim stuff out and things don't always work out. But running the play out and in the field, if you think about from a technician's perspective, or even from a perspective from what you were in before, what would you say would be some highlights of that?
If you're now asking me what did highlights of my play, this would probably relate with your first question also. Become genuinely interested in other people. Where do we learn this from?
Dale Carnegie.
Yes, we do. It works. They pick up if it's fake. They'll pick up if it's fake. But if you become genuinely interested in other people, they'll become interested in you. And it just works. It's just amazing. So that good questions, ask good questions, but do it from a place of like, I really care. Where did you get that helmet? Top Gun like Tom Cruise, good gracious. And they'll tell you about how fake that movie was or whatever, you know.
Funny story, I did ask him, I said, what did you think about the new Top Gun? Did you watch it? He goes, it was trash. And I was like, okay.
My friend Don Leswing told me the same thing.
Yes.
This is fake, that's wrong, this is wrong. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Still pretty good movie.
That's right.
Yes, I'd watch again. So if we are talking about running the play, I'll ask you the same question that I asked Brandon. If you were talking to a new hire or someone who doesn't quite have the experience of Morris Jenkins, we've chosen Run the Play as our theme this year.
Right.
Although Run the Play has been around for far longer than just this year, how would you explain Run the Play? Or in your words, what does that mean?
Okay. The Run the Play to me is to have a process and follow it always. Be consistent always until you die or until the Lord comes back, one or the other. But just run the play every day. Run this thing. If your play ain't working, get with Rob Johnson and learn how to get a better play. I do think there's a different play for a manager, a different play for a leader, which those two roles are different, very different. There's a different play for a technician or a plumber or a salesperson. For me, I brought some props. Is that cool?
Bring them on.
Yes, we love props.
Y'all got all kind of crap in here. Okay. All right, this bag. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Pick this thing up. You're strong.
Yeah, you could be be the Vanna White.
All right, you're like a warrior, right? Warrior strength.
A try.
Yeah. I carried this bag with me for 15 of the 17 years. Same bag. Easy here. The handle's hanging on by a thread, so now I got
literally
a literal thread.
I have to carry it like a baby. This bag was golden to me. Do you think I'll ever get rid of this bag?
No.
Nah. In here was anything I needed to help me connect with someone. Was it an oil furnace we're going to take out and put in a heat pump, which we used to have a lot of those? Like, what in this bag could I use or leverage to help me connect with the people, understand what that looks like? People that have other competitors out for other estimates. I had a bunch of other competitors' estimates. We didn't shop our competition. We did not, but just pick them up along the way. I knew what they were quoting. I had the brochures for all the different brands so we could share similarities and differences. I had all kind of crap in here. Like, this is a piece of duct board. This is a piece of metal. In case somebody had duct work and they wanted to maybe get something better, I wanted to be able to show them and tell them some stuff. Mm-hmm. You probably had some training in the Marine Corps, like what happens if you get stuck out in the woods. You've done this, right? Mm-hmm. Is this crazy?
Yeah.
Like, have you gone like stayed in the woods for a couple of days?
A couple of weeks.
Oh, you would have never made it.
You would have been gone.
Absolutely not.
What happens if you need water?
You need to be able to source water from somewhere.
Where?
You can go find it in a creek, but you got to boil it.
Okay. Or how about a purifier thing?
Yeah, if you had that, that was nice.
Sweet. They make little tabs you can put in water too.
Yep, iodine tabs.
What does that kill?
Bacteria, anything that's going to mess you up out in the woods.
Yeah, it kills the diarrhea, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you had to have that stuff. You had to have a poncho. You had to have shelter. Like, on a sales call, I had to have these things or I couldn't run the call. Mm-hmm. Wasn't going to happen. All right, this bag, Corey McDonald, this bag has been peed on by multiple cats. We didn't even have a cat. I'd just be like talking to somebody. Next thing you know, psst, you hear it. I'm like, dang.
It adds character to your bag.
I think your cat just peed on my bag. I've gotten home at night and had kids' toys in here because kids are like,
oh,
and I'd be like, there's a juicy cup. Oh, nice. I have left this bag on a sidewalk in Mooresville for several days. Lost it, man. My heart was broken. Like, what do I do? And then I called the people. They didn't answer. I drove back to Mooresville when I realized where I probably left it, sitting on the sidewalk where I left it.
Still in the same spot.
Yeah, I left the truck window down one time during a hurricane, for real. And it filled up with water. Like, this bag is just, it's not about the things in the bag. For me, it was about being prepared, and never run a call without your stuff. It was about my play was be prepared, have everything I need to connect with someone. And like it got to the point when I picked the bag up, the weight, I could tell if something was missing.
Wow.
I could tell what was missing. If it was too light, wait a minute, what have I left? I'm going back in the house. You with me? So for me, it was that. For me, I wore a tool bag. I wore tape measure. I wore a tool bag. And I was literally checking people's airflow. And I was literally taking apart people's equipment because I don't know if our tech did that. I think they did, but maybe the customer wasn't there to see. So I'm doing it. I'm checking the humidity level so their hair don't frizz up. You know, like I'm checking stuff. I would never run a call at anybody's house without my tool bag and my briefcase. Like it's not going to happen. And I did that every day for 17 years or 18 years. For 15 years, I used the same pen. Silver, refill. You got to refill it. I would get the refills at Sharon Luggage or one of them places that's out of business, whatever. and I think my daddy and mama bought me that pen when I got my job. We used to fill out jobs on purpose. And I'm like, gosh, I've sold a decade of jobs. Everybody signed with this pen. So I still got the pen. It's been lost too. I've lost it multiple times and then I've replaced it and I find the old one. For me, it was about just uber consistency and being prepared all the time. Okay, now, I see you. Are we good? And Susie at church every Sunday. Y'all sit behind us.
Yep.
Okay. Other than church on Sunday at First Baptist Indian Trail, shameless plug. It's a good place, isn't it? Other than there, have you ever seen me wearing anything other than this?
I don't feel like I really have.
How long have I known you?
A long time.
Like, how long have you been
15,
here?
16 years, yeah.
16 years. Other than church on Sundays, you've never seen me wear anything other than this, and you ain't either in 8 or 9 years. Like, I wear the same thing every day. Every day. Start shirt. I'm proud of Morris Jenkins. I love it when people talk to me about it in the store or the gas station. So for me, run the play, be prepared, be consistent, have a play. I don't really care what the play is, but follow the play. I don't wear a watch on a sales call. I don't take a phone on a sales call. Why would I not do that? Why would I not do that?
Distractions.
I don't want to distract anyone. It distracts me. It distracts them. I don't wear a watch because I'm not in a hurry. Seriously, we will talk about Coca-Cola, old woman, as long as you want to, period. And it really was interesting. I don't ever want anybody to feel rushed. And so that was my play for a long time, the sales play. That's what I did every single day.
Yeah.
For 15 years. Everybody, it was the same me every day that showed up.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Does that answer some of that for you?
100%.
Okay, so then I get a new role in the office, and I'm like, okay, reckon I need a new play. So guess what I got?
He's got a new old bag.
The handles are attached.
Less cat pee.
Is this the same bag?
Yeah.
It's the same bag.
Yeah, it's the same bag.
Okay.
For real. And actually, there's hardly anything in here because I don't even really need it. I'm not taking
He says, I traded out my psychrometer for snacks.
Well, listen, I got my Afrin because I'm addicted to Afrin. And I've got some sticky notes because Meredith knows I got sticky notes all over my office. You don't come in often, but when you do, it's like, oh, wow. Right? You never know. I've got my stylus that my dog chewed up. Why do I keep this? I don't
Fantastic.
know. I don't know. But I've got this notebook.
I do see that a lot.
There's nothing else in here. So why do I carry that every day?
It's the same Alan.
It's the same Alan. So now I carry this notepad into every meeting, and you see me carry it all the time. And I know that I need to be fully present. And so I'm going to take notes. I'm going to work on my Ivy Lee list. I'm going to mark things off because it gives me some kind of gratitude. I've got action items here. Somebody a long time ago helped me come up with a thought catcher so I can capture what I need to do. And so, like, do you think I would go in? Have you ever seen me in a meeting without this?
Nope.
Never. Like, I go to the break room to get my snacks. You know what I mean? Got to have my snacks. This goes with me. What if I get a good idea? And I wear the Morris Jenkins shirt every day. But nobody else does in my role. And it's okay that they don't. it worked. So I stopped. And to lead by example for the sales team. If I expect them to have a fully prepared bag and a white starch Morris Jenkins shirt on, then they're not going to see me not do that.
Right.
That's why I do it.
Right.
So the play is really just be prepared consistently, lead by example, be genuine, be authentic.
Right.
And that's it for me. That's in a nutshell. There's a different play for you and David Miller. There's a different play for Shallon and Meredith and their team. There's a different play for Robbie and Corey and all the folk over there. They got their own play. Like we have our own play. But I would expect the same Corey to show up for every photo shoot, prepared with his bag and his stuff and his cool shoes and his hat and, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to unpack with all that. I mean, this bag is literally legendary. It's attached with a single thread on the other side. That's crazy. But just looking at what's inside that gave you the consistency. It gave you the confidence for you to be able to tackle anything that customer might offer you.
Could educate.
Yeah.
I could educate.
Like a beast.
Yeah, that's one thing that sticks out to me, has always stuck out to me about you, is this consistency piece. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to learn. I'm never going to stop learning.
Right.
I'm going to know all there is to know about whatever's in there, duck board, heat pump, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because what's in there, it is, yes, to help you connect, but also to help you educate. What role do you think that plays, this never stop learning piece, but also this ability to be able to educate customers? How does that fit into the play?
Well, people do business with people that they like. People do business with people that they trust, and I got to get them to trust me. And they don't always understand what these things we sell are. And so I learned that people appreciate a good teacher, and so I would do the best I could to educate. And it's a part of our sales system. There is an educate step, and we got to take a complex topic and bring it down to third grade level. And you just got a little bit of time to do it. And they can only absorb so much of what you're about to say. Their cups will overfloweth. Mm-hmm. And in the early days, I was really bad at all this, by the way. Like, I'd confuse people all the time. I had people ask me to leave, which is a bad thing, by the way. But over time, I got better at it.
Yeah. I think about trust. Like, I know you've worked with a lot of people, and some of the people I've worked with is just like, hey, here's the facts. Your unit is this, or your house is this, and they present the facts, and then the customer says, which they have every right to, is like, hey, I need to think about it, or I need to talk to my wife or whatever. But the trust piece that you just mentioned, I don't want to graze over that, because I think that's a missing piece in a lot of how people are trying to connect with people. It's like, I present the facts. Why? This makes very logical sense. Why would you say, in your opinion, trust is one of the most crucial things that you need to have?
Well, it's absolutely one of the most crucial things they have. Like, people might buy in desperation because it's cold and they need something, and they may not feel good about that because they didn't trust you, but they had to do something. But could it have been fixed? I don't know. So I just found that those things helped me to connect. Mm-hmm. Here's a bonus. I would carry that bag in like a baby. Hey, you got somewhere we can connect for a few minutes? Whatever. Come in here. I got the Coke out. And I would set the bag down, and people started talking about the bag. They're like, holy crap, are you moving in? I'm like, no. I've helped a lot of people for a lot of years. This has got about everything we need to accomplish what we need to accomplish. Or, dang, that the bag's been around a while. And I'd say, well, this was an expensive bag, but I never regretted spending it because it's lasted so long. Isn't it nice to spend a little bit extra on something in the beginning and then have it last forever? Mm-hmm. The bag became part of the play.
Mm-hmm. What gets people off track from running the play?
It's easy to get off track when things are going really well. When it's the middle of summer and everybody's buying and you're running hard and you're making some money and all of a sudden, hey, I didn't really need that tool. I didn't really need that story. I really didn't need that video to play, to connect. I didn't need that. And then when summer's gone, like the close rate drops and the performance drops and then the aggravation comes. And what I've learned is that you're leaving some pieces off. You've cut your play up. You're not doing the whole play anymore. Your question is, why would they leave things off of their play or change the play? It happens when things are going good. It doesn't happen when things are hard. When things are hard, like you go back to the roots. Hey, can somebody help me, please? Something's not working. Okay, great. How about that story? Dang, I forgot about it. Let me go try it again. Mm-hmm. People get off the track in times of prosperity, I feel. Or it happened for me lots of times. And I would come in, and my dad, who was my manager, would just get me back on track. It didn't take him long to say, you stopped doing that and you forgot to do that. Do that, you'll do fine. You just put me back out. And then part of it's just lazy. Like, Rob and I spent last week training these plumbing salespeople. And what I'm telling you is there ain't 8 minutes of difference in a really good presentation with the right tools and a pitiful presentation that maybe you don't connect really well. And we're talking like 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes. Didn't we put it?
Yep.
Like this story takes this long, and this story takes that long, and this education takes that long. We're like 7-8 minutes. We run 3 or 4 calls a day. I'm not talking about much. I'm not asking for big time commitment. People just leave it off.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe human nature, I don't know if this is actually true, but I mean, we as humans take the path of least resistance, when offered. I don't know that we do it intentionally or whatnot, but if it's like, if it didn't matter, we didn't feel the consequence of it initially, then it just is kind of like, well, we'll just leave it off and see what happens again. I mean, it's just, and before long, maybe you've left so many things off that now you don't know.
What do you think would happen if I went to the tactical meeting and we're having some great discussions and I didn't even take my notebook? I'm just sitting there looking at everybody. How long do you think that would fly?
Not long.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you notice when we have combined meetings with our management group that everybody has their laptop except for me and Casey? Have you noticed?
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Why do you think I don't take my laptop?
Distraction.
It's another distraction.
Why else? You probably know. Mm-hmm. I can't hardly work the thing.
No.
I get so frustrated. This thing won't sync up. What the crap? I'll spend 5 minutes trying to work on the freaking computer. I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take my notebook and I'm going to take all the notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's steps you just can't miss. This goes for techs. Installers have a play. They absolutely have a play. This truck's got to be organized. You got to be on time. Call the customer when you're on the way. You got to have everything you need in there. You can't have a bunch of trash to sort through. Our techs have a play. The method in which they take pictures to give the bad news, there's an order in which those pictures should be taken. You with me? Mm-hmm. Everybody has a play here. Our plumbing sales team we've got a camera. We get people involved. We put this camera in their sewer system and let them see what they have for breakfast and see where the problem is. Like, they help us solve the problem. Everybody's got to play. Every department's got to play. And for me, it was just all about being super consistent in my play.
So that makes me think, for those that have been in the same footsteps as you, gone from the field, maybe now working in office role or a management role, you were saying that when things are going right, that's when it's easy to trim things off. Mm-hmm. Would you say your experience is the same in a management role, running the play and we can get off track? Is it the same reason, or would you say it's different?
No, it's the freaking same, man. Like right now we're going through MJ Easy. I think we're going to talk about that too. I got a great story. But we're solving problems right now in our business and processes that were already solved a long time ago. What happened? Well, we had 2018 and 2019, 2020 and COVID. And we grew like crazy. We grew 40% in 1 year. It was a good year. And I stopped doing that. I stopped doing this. And now we're trying to solve them again. Like, things are masked in times of greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the opposite of that, why people don't run the play, or what's the challenge there? On the other side of that, what happens, or in your mind, when everyone's running the play, We are spot on, well-oiled machine. Everybody's running the play from the training team to marketing to everybody's doing their thing. What does that look like and what's the outcome?
We're unstoppable. Unstoppable. We're going to a new market, which is so exciting. We've got a new trade in electrical, which is so exciting. So much exciting stuff happened. We'd be double our size if everybody ran the freaking play. Double. We wouldn't have to go to another town. There'd be so much business here, we couldn't even get to it all. For a fact.
I think about this place as pretty freaking unstoppable right now.
It is.
And
nobody competes. We've got the best of the best. We've got the best of the best. But the question was, if every single person ran a tight play, oh man,
we'd be on the rocket ship. We'd be beyond the rocket ship.
Yeah.
oh yes.
We'd
Yeah.
be.
We would be on the teleporter.
That's right. Well, I think about like the time that always stands out to me that it was very apparent that everybody was doing the same stuff. It was during 2020, like during COVID. I just remember that hit, and it was just like you felt like the world was in and outside this place. But the management team just coming together. Okay, what do we need to do to keep our people safe? How can we maintain some semblance of business and still be able to serve our community? And I just remember it was daily meetings every single day, and it was everyone rowing in the same direction because we had a common cause. This is what we need to tackle. And then as we focus so much on MJ Easy now and running the play, I can feel that same pull where the entire organization is moving towards that.
Adrian relaunching daily huddles. I mean, that is awesome. The alignment, seeing all the departments come together. This is what we need today. This is where we fell short. What can we do? I mean, it's just great. And that's the same thing in COVID. Hey, are we going to live through the day? Are we going to make it worth the mask?
I just remember the mask.
Hand sanitizers destroying people's furniture. Be careful.
That's right. I just remember the one, we were testing out different masks. You know this. I just remember the one that had the paper, and then had, because it was like, it's important to see the lips. So they had the clear window.
Dewey Jenkins built those himself.
Yeah.
He found those because the sales team, this is how we communicate, is through our expression, and we're wearing the mask, and it's hard.
See it.
So he bought them things. It's weird. It was weird.
It fogged up real quick.
Yeah.
You're breathing on plastic.
All right, that was a fair try.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
We should have kept some of those.
I think we did for a while. Before we jump over to MJ Easy, because I want to hear your story, I do want to ask about Mr. Jenkins and about your dad, David Smith. I mean, obviously, Mr. Jenkins, I don't know if he would want to be called a legend, but I'm going to call him a legend, as well as David. I mean, just literally instrumental. This business would not be what this business is without them. So what do you feel like what are the biggest lessons that you learned from Mr. Jenkins? And then I think from your dad's perspective, what is it do you think his legacy is here at Morris Jenkins?
So for Mr. Jenkins, he is an amazing listener. Amazing. I mean, like, whew, he just stares at you. He's got your laser beam on there. It's like he's listening to your soul. Have you noticed? He's a good listener. And I thought I was a good listener, but I wasn't. He modeled this well. And back at the old building, so this is like 2012 or 2013, I wound up in some conflict with the manager at Morris Jenkins. It wasn't like awful conflict, but there was conflict. And I wound up in a room with him one day with my manager, Dad, and this other manager, and Mr. Jenkins. And he wasn't recruited to anybody's way of thinking. He was not the rescuer. He was just there to moderate and listen. So I go in like I got my bullets loaded, I got my arrows in the quiver, like, and so did the other person. And we're just pew, 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 pew. And Dewey just smiled like he does.
Of course he did.
And like, he didn't have to tell you to stop talking. It's like he's smiling, so it's like, okay, it's probably time to talk. That's the message. And he says, Alan, you are listening with the intent to reply, not to understand. So let's do this again. And then he smiled. I'm like, that's a good one. He was right. He always listened with the intent to understand. Tell me more. Let me make sure I got this straight. He would paraphrase it back. Okay, tell me even more about that. He would take notes. He couldn't read them because his handwriting's awful, but he would take notes. It might have just been scribbling. So I'd heard him talk about that over and over again. Listen with the intent to understand, not to reply. But until that moment, it didn't register. Like I wasn't ready to hear that. So from that point forward, I've tried as hard as I can to do that. I fail often at it, but I try hard as I can. That's a big lesson I learned from him.
Yeah.
And then there's 100 other lessons.
Gosh, yes.
Yes.
So maybe we just leave it at that one.
Yeah.
That's a dandy.
Well, you said something earlier about there's a difference between a manager and a leader.
Yes.
What would you say that difference is? And then how did you witness that leadership from Dewey over the years?
So we know here that a manager looks inward at his people. This is look for the talents and the non-talents, blot for the non-talents, take the talents, pull them out so they can roll on, right? And that role of a leader is to look outward. What does it look like in 3 years? What does it look like in 5 years? What is the competition doing that we should not be doing, or we should? The leader is to look outward, the manager is to look inward. Mm-hmm. And there was a time when Dewey was my manager. When I started, he was the sales manager and the install manager and the service manager and the general manager.
He did it all.
Did it all. Mm-hmm. He led the sales meetings in the very early days, and he did look inward, and he saw something in me and others, and he did a good job pulling it out. So he did that role really well. And then as the business grew, he started looking outward. And I saw that shift in him. Like he recognized, and I don't think many people can do both. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not sure, but it's like freaking rare.
Yeah, it is rare
to do both. Mm-hmm. But that man, he can do both. So in the tactical team, when he was a member or chairman of the tactical team, and he was helping us look out, and he was stopping us when we look in. So I saw that shift in him. Mm-hmm. But he's a beast. Dude can do both. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And then Dad, he created the stories. Mm-hmm. I'm getting waved over here. We just going to roll on. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to roll on.
He created all the stories. All the stories. He would challenge the stories. That don't make sense. Let's change it up. Let's do it. Those pictures aren't good. Let's get more pictures. Whatever. That video's not good enough. Can't we make a better video? He would constantly help this connect like a magnet piece. He becomes genuinely interested in other people. Mm-hmm. Like,
he always has done a good job of that.
Yeah. So then he took Dewey's role, and he was my manager, and he just provided that for us all the time. So now Dewey's looking outward, but Dad was also looking outward. I mean, like we weren't doing full service plumbing, and he's slipping flappers for toilets on the trucks. Hey, see if you can sell these things.
That's
like
right.
He was pushing us that way.
Yeah.
Hey, what if we bought an insulation machine? That might be a good idea.
I remember the one point, who in the world is selling flappers on their trucks? You're supposed to be doing heating in there.
Dewey didn't want to do plumbing.
That's right.
Even though his dad was a plumber, and he wanted to buy a plumbing business in 1991. Right. Like that's his passion. And today we have the biggest plumbing company in the Carolinas. It's incredible. All full services. But anyway, that's it. Did that answer that question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not everybody gets to work with their dad. What was one of your fun moments that you had over the years getting to work with old daddy?
Well, in the very beginning, like I still lived at home.
Oh.
I wasn't even married. I'm just, hey, this is great. We'd go home and like sit at the bar, and Mom would cook, but the supper was cold because we got home late for 17 years. But we'd sit at the bar, and we'd talk about, I ain't selling nothing. I was madder than fire, and he sold like 5 jobs every day. I'm like, okay, this sucks. But he would coach me. Yeah. His coaching style is, well, you should have done this and you should have done that, and didn't you do this and didn't you? And I'm like, okay, stop. But I was getting it.
I'm listening, but stop.
Yeah. I was getting it.
Yeah.
So it was just, for me, I'm really fortunate. It was just constant coaching. And then Gene and I bought an old house. We'll be 100 years old here in a little bit. And we've been there for like a quarter of a century. I thought it was a cool house. Boy, it was a piece of crap. I mean, really. And we have rebuilt that house from the ground up. Mm-hmm. And so When I walk around my house, all I see is projects that me and Dad did. And while we were working on those projects, guess what we were talking about?
Work. Life. Yeah. You say his coaching style was, you should have done that. You should have done this.
Yeah.
What's your coaching style?
I don't know. You might have to ask some of the salespeople that.
Yeah.
What I try to do is just simply lead by the best example that I can. You saw me with this group last week.
Yeah.
Just over and over again, just this is how it is. They're going to go fall on their face. They're going to come back. I'll just model it again. I'm probably not the best disciplinarian. I don't have tons of people on a counseling for them, but we don't. But I don't know that it's right, but we got the best sales team in the land, period. Period. So obviously whatever's happening is working.
Yeah.
They brought their own talents. And so I just do the best I can to make sure they're on the track, running a play, lead by example.
Two things that I've noticed getting to work with you is one, you ask really good questions. And so, hey, I'm not sure what to do in this case, or hey, here's what I'm running into. You ask really good, thoughtful questions. And it helps me, and I know it helps others, just think about, okay, what action do I need to take here? Usually the best decision you're going to move forward with is the one that you came up with on your own. And so if you can come up with that on your own via question, it's powerful. The other, because I wrote down you are the king of stories, is you've learned stories over the years from your dad, from Mr. Jenkins, and you've crafted these stories to where they apply to customers out in the field. And you probably already notice it now, but even when you're trying to make a point, you don't say, hey, you should have done this. It's, Rob, like 3 years ago. And then you start telling a story. And I'm like, I don't know where he's going with this, but I'm here for it. And then next thing I know, I end up with, here's a thought to think about at the end. And you don't even tell me to take it. You're just like, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh. All right, so maybe need to tweak that. And then we move on. And it's great because it's not like you're telling me you should do this. It's something to think about. So those were things that I've noticed that you've put your own style on. And I've grabbed some of those of like, I need to do a better job of that because it's had an impact for me. And so I
picked up a lot from you too since we've been working together more often. So it goes both ways.
Iron sharpening iron.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So MJ Easy, so learning all this stuff over the years, you've said in the past, this company's developed and changed. We've done MJ Easy in the past. We're doing it again now. Yeah. So what did you see in the past with MJ Easy?
Absolutely. So in 2010, 2011, okay, we've decided that we want to be able to do 2 install jobs in a day. Like do one in the morning, do one in the afternoon. Dewey's looking out. He says, this can take us to the next level. It makes it easy for the customer. That's our purpose. From the salesperson's perspective, it's easy to sell it if we can do it today. Less chance of them canceling because overnight people get cold feet and cancel like it. That was the conundrum that we were in. Like, what is it going to take to make that happen? We had the Vanguard group from Scotland here, and we solved a lot of problems. I wasn't a part of hardly any of those projects, but this one that I'm going to share, I was. We had a room that was not much bigger than this room, and I would go by there for weeks, and it's just like chart paper all over the walls, and they're just mapping systems and processes. It wasn't 2 hours a week. This was like all day, every day. It was crazy. But mine was, how are we going to install 2 jobs in a day? How does this happen? What does this look like? So what I've observed is that in the mornings, I have customers that call me. Are we still on for today? It's 9:30. Crew's not here yet. 9:45. Are they still coming? I'm getting these calls. Not every day, but often. What we learned as we mapped the system is that the installers are getting to work and the equipment's not there and the parts aren't there. We have, 2 or 3 bay doors and we got 10 trucks. So they're lined up there. And so they back up and then they, this is old days. So everybody just stands on the dock and smokes a cigarette. We'd be vaping today, I guess. Right?
That's right.
And we were getting late starts every day, late starts. If you start late, then you finish late, then by gosh, you can't go do a second job. So Vanguard mapped this with our team, and what we determined is that we need to have 2 designated install start times, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. That's it. We're going to start at 8, 9. Michael, Meredith, thank you for doing business with us. We won't let you down. Tomorrow morning, would you like us here at 8 o'clock sharp or 9 o'clock sharp? And then she's going to decide, or Michael's going to decide, and then we put a trigger in our software, so I would choose that. And by gosh, we're about to move the mountain to do that, to make that happen. So like that's like number one. Number two, we can't have 10 install crews jammed up on 2 loading dock bays. So now they are sent the time in which they are supposed to arrive. Rob, you and your partner will be here at 6:15 for your load up. The next crew will be here at 6:20 for the load up, whatever. Now we're kind of like air traffic controlling our installers coming in. Okay, then we need the equipment. Like so, we have warehouse. They're staying a little later. They're pulling equipment. We know that an attic unit needs a drain pan, a platform. We build platforms. We run drain lines to the soffits. We need the material. So they start loading material. Then we took tape and we tape off lines on the concrete. Next day install, same day install. We had it. Everything was just packed up like a Christmas present. So the crew shows up at 6:45. They back up. Equipment's on. They go. Truck never gets turned off. You got to smoke in your truck. We're not. And all of a sudden, guess what happens to my phone calls every morning?
Stop.
They stop. People quit calling, asking, hey, are we on for today? It stopped completely. Mm-hmm. Now, if the crew starts at 8, instead of getting done at 3 or 4, they get done at 1. Now what? Hey, let's go do another job. All of a sudden, that system was improved. So we check, map the system, right? What are the conditions of the system? All the stuff. And then I watched them put it in play. And I would see Dave Hearn out there every day with his clipboard, like he's making a movie.
He's king traffic controller.
Like Steven Spielberg making the movie happen every morning. And I'm just watching it orchestrate, and it's moving. And we're doing 2 jobs a day. Are the customers happier?
Oh, yeah.
How about the salespeople? Mm-hmm. Like, we made more. Customers got what they wanted faster. Did the installers make more? Mm-hmm. Okay, and guess what? If we don't have 2 jobs for you, you get to go home and get your kids off the school bus. Now they're getting home earlier for going fishing with the kids. Their family time is better. Everything is better. Mm-hmm. So this is like the check, plan, do. We checked it again, and we did that. And the improvement was unreal for everybody involved, including the customer. Mm-hmm. If the equipment is not available, you're going to get your packet, which includes all the other stuff. You go get started. Just go tear out, dispose, build a platform, get the paint. You go start. We will deliver you the serialized equipment as soon as we can get it. But we're not going to stop going to Michael and Meredith's house to be there at 8 because we promised them we will be there. So we just moved the mountain to make that happen. And it wasn't that hard. It just took a different perspective.
Yeah. How long was that going on for? You're getting these phone calls before?
Every day.
That going for 6 months,
so then
8 months?
Then I'm calling Dave Hearn. Hey, where the heck is such and so? Well, I don't know. The equipment wasn't here. Blah, blah, blah. Look and see if he's out there. Yeah, it's just like, dang, crazy. Mm-hmm. That was a lean project that I saw benefit so many folks. So then we come to the new building in 2015. We've got like 25 bay doors. It's like, anybody work here? Hello? Like nobody's here. And so all of a sudden we didn't need designated times. We didn't need the next day. We didn't need we had so much room. We didn't need that stuff. And so that process, we have a different process. We evolved into a different process.
Yeah.
So that's like the go back and check again piece. So this MJ Easy for me, and they called it lean, but it's MJ Easy. It's looking at this through the eyes of the end user, which was the salesperson, the installer, the warehouse worker, everybody looking through all of their lenses. What does the process look like? It's really freaking cool process. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about what we're doing now, really excited. And we're peeling back the onion, and we're fixing stuff. And again, what we're learning is a lot of stuff done been fixed. We just forgot to continually check back. Yeah. So I'm really stoked that that's what we're doing this year.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It's been a really cool process, and it is all hands on deck diving back into this. You're talking about through the in-game or the in-game user. It's looking through that eyes of the customer. It's how does this impact me? And so it's easy to look inward and say like, this isn't working, or this is making it really hard on me, and you make changes, and that ends up impacting the customer farther down. And so when you just say, okay, how can we make this easy for them, even if it's a little bit more challenging for us, we're willing to make that change. I think on Brandon's podcast, you were talking about the swan
Oh, yeah.
You told the story of the swan really
The swan on the water. That's what the customer sees, right?
Pedaling.
And us behind the, if we've got to go to a vendor and pick up that equipment and deliver it to the customer's house so they can go and get started and we can deliver on that promise we made to show up at 8 or 9, then that's us under the water, paddling as fast as we can to deliver on the promises that we've made to the customer. But I think that's MJ Easy. That's what allows us to continue to show the customer the swan on the water. It's okay if we're underneath paddling as fast as we can.
They had no idea that Dave Hearn was out there like Steven Spielberg calling shots, and that we had tape on floors, and we had warehouse there till midnight pulling it. They had no idea.
Yep.
Those things happened. All they knew is we showed up at 8 o'clock, did the job. We were done by 1 o'clock. They had their life back.
Which is all the customer cares about in the end anyway.
I was about to say, they don't care about it. I wouldn't care about any of that. Just get my job done.
I just need some air.
That's right.
And so keeping that front and center, I think it's really exciting. And that was one of my questions for you is MJ Easy considered, Run the Play considered, all things considered. What are you most excited about going forward for the company, for yourself? What excites you most at this point?
Well, at our all company breakfast Tuesday, was that this Tuesday?
It was.
Dang. Getting old.
It happens fast.
It was so exciting to see that group going to Greenville. Man, that was awesome. It's changing their life. It's new jobs, new career, new opportunities. The more will come. We've made another hire that I think will be announced soon. It's really exciting too. So it's like, wow, to see that come to fruition, so exciting. Then we'll go somewhere else. So exciting.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Jenkins told me, book, really cool. I got a cameo in there. Pretty cool. We're writing the next book.
Do you have your bag with you?
We should. But we're writing the next book now. We all are. And it's just exciting, really exciting.
What do you feel like would be the title of that next book?
I don't know. I'm not creative enough for that. Let's let somebody else solve that one.
Carry the bag.
Yeah.
Carry the bag.
Yeah. So if you had to say one thing or a few things to the people who are listening about Morris Jenkins, about being a part of this culture and in this place, what would you say to them? Like if you could give them any thoughts or any do this, get a bag, what would it be that you would want people to hear about being a part of this place?
Well, a couple things come to mind. They do. One thing is the grass is not greener on the other side. Everybody who leaves, the ones that we will let them come back, they come back. And we welcome them back and we love them back and we hug on them and it's like they've never been gone, but the grass is never greener on the other side, ever. Right?
That's right.
Then number 2 would probably would share a little Jim Rohn here, the little how tall does a tree grow? By the way, when Mr. Jenkins first asked me that, when he first became exposed to Jim Rohn, he asked me that. And I'm like, well, Mr. Jenkins, we talking about a pine tree or oak tree? I failed, you know what I mean?
He smiles, he looks at you.
Smiled.
Yeah, listened with the intent to understand, told me I was an idiot. Later took me and introduced me to Jim Rohn at a show in Chapel Hill, which was really cool.
Wow.
But we know how tall a tree grows. It's as tall as it can. It never stops. How tall does a tree grow if you dig it up and move it around every 2 or 3 years?
It's probably not going to make it.
Yeah, like the first year is trying to decide if it's going to live or not. The second year is trying to find some water. The third year, it might grow. Not till the 4th year does this thing start to do something. The first year is about to die. I just transplanted a freaking tree. Jumping around from spot to spot, to job, it's just stupid. They won't look back in 28 years and have the stories like I got. So it would be probably the grass ain't greener on the other side. Grow as tall as you can grow, and it don't just job hop all the time. It's crazy to do that. And you ain't gonna find nowhere better. don't think so. Do you? I've only ever worked here. It might suck. I don't know. It might be terrible here. I don't even know.
I don't think we'd be sitting here in this room right now if that were the case.
I've never had another job. I don't know.
I've never. I just told somebody this morning. I said that this is the best place I've ever worked, and I've worked in only a few places, but this place has so much opportunity for you to grow. And I don't know if I've ever correlated in this until just right now. This is a moment. Is the grass being greener on the other side and the tree. I used to just be like, yeah, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. They always say it's where you water it. It's just, if you are spending time growing yourself, you will grow, but you have to give yourself time to grow. You got to grow.
Yeah.
But I've never associated with, you can be a stumpy tree. You keep moving around thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Did you connect that?
Yeah. Well, no, not till you just said it.
Daggone.
Hey,
I like that.
Yep.
we should have a chapter in the new book about that.
That should be it.
Okay, y'all write it.
And we'll title it.
I'm going to let Jen do that one.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us, to share your story. I don't know that anyone else will bring props. I can't wait. Maybe you've upped the bar for your
I don't
teammates.
think anyone could ever walk in here with a prop that would match a bag that's seen Coca-Cola lady.
Cat
It's seen
pee.
cat pee.
It took 52 episodes for this to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most I've ever showed up with is a graph on a piece of paper. So this far exceeds that.
Yeah, we're leveling up the
The bag
podcast.
is rubbed off on me because I have my own notebook.
There you go.
I probably need to get an actual leather one. This one's from Target, so I don't know if it counts. It's not going to make it as long as that bag.
Okay.
It's
a
definitely
start.
not going to make it.
This next part is going to be amazing.
Yes, it is. Okay. So we have the last guest leave a question for you.
Yes.
And then you will leave a question for the next guest.
You don't know what this question is.
I haven't known what any questions are,
Okay.
including this one.
So I think Brandon did ask us to give a little context. So he was walking by Eddie's office. I guess this was recently, and he heard them in cahoots in there talking, asking questions. Apparently somebody was asking this question. The fact that someone in that office knew that they could turn around and ask Brandon Anderson, the president of this company, this speaks a lot to where we work. Okay, here's the question. Do you tuck your undershirt into your pants or your underwear?
Pants. Pants. Because if you don't, then when you bend over, you get underwear slip. The underwear would come out. You see my Fruit of Looms, you know what I'm saying? You have to tuck it between pant and underwear. Have to.
I don't, I guess, necessarily have to navigate this. I really think that this is something that I guess men have a lot of
This is a lot bigger than
experience with.
most people would think.
Yeah, and it's critically important.
You've thought about this.
Yeah, it's part of the play, actually.
It's critically important. Yes, I don't know that I've ever thought about it once, but it sounds like it's definitely come up in maybe a thought process here.
I'm never going to think about running the play ever the same again because of you.
The tuck is important.
It's part of the prepare step.
Yeah.
At QT,
Belt on straight.
tuck your shirt
Yeah.
in your pants.
You better get it right. Okay, what's your question for our next guest?
Okay, I don't know who the next guest is going to be. Maybe y'all don't either. Okay, but I'd like to know the 3 things they love most about Alan Smith.
Yes,
Done deal.
I love it.
Love it. I love it too.
It's
Yeah,
gonna it's
really do.
it's gonna
This
be
is gonna be
great.
great.
I have a feeling it'll be one of your teammates, so it's gonna be even better. Hopefully they won't. Maybe they won't listen, so we can really
They won't listen.
take it by
They
surprise.
get tired of hearing me. They won't listen.
But you will listen to the next episode to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
put them on the spot when we get to that point.
All right.
Okay, I can't wait. Well, once again, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for just you can tell in the way that you speak about Morris Jenkins and the way that you just live and breathe this place. I think it's amazing. So thank you for being here and being a part of this. It's important for us to capture these things while we've got the good ones in our midst.
Well, I got
No, it's mixed.
No, it's mitts.
It's mixed.
Mitts.
It's not. Hey, I do want to say that I'm glad that you came on today, and it's been a treat just to hear these different stories. And I realize even as we've hit different things, there's so much depth in every one of them. Like going back to this bag, the things it's seen, the stories behind it, why, what's in it, But then all these others.
That's a secret. Actually, yes.
There is underwear in this bag, just in case. But there's just so much extra stuff. So I know we'll have you back on, and there's lots more questions, lots more depth there.
Okay.
Yep.
In your mixed.
Midst.
It is.
Enjoyed it, y'all.
Yes.
Appreciate what y'all do for the company.
Yeah,
Yep.
appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Don't forget, follow us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube so you never miss an episode. We will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for listening. Until then, peace, love, and easy does it.
Hey, appreciate y'all.